Hello and welcome to another Raggers Beer Review. So, I've just done a ridiculously long day at work, but we'll talk about that later. So, we're going to Saltaire Brewery, based in Yorkshire, not too far away from where Mr. Hopzine, probably the best proper craft beer reviewer on the internet, you know, for their South Island, a New Zealand Pale, 3.4%. And there we go. There is a bottle. Wow. So yeah, worked from 6:30 this morning till nearly 6 o'clock tonight. Then went in the garden, pulling decking up. Things you do, eh? 3.4%. It says, punching above its weight in flavour, this is a clean, crisp beer with subtle fruitiness from Nelson Savin hops. Dockfield Road, Shipley, West Yorkshire, BD17 7AR. Now, as you well know, if anybody watches this channel, I'm not keen on these blooming 3.4%ers and all that. But we'll give it a go. We won't, put it down. I have tasted some from local. Ooh, that's lively. From the odd local brewery, and slightly overdone it on the hops, So let's hope this is just the fact that they've blended it properly, and it's all right chucking a bunch of bloody hops in. I mean, it's like anything, you can chuck a load of flavour in, but there's got to be a balance of too much flavour or too many hops, surely. So it's more or less a straw colour pour, in some way at least. Plenty of carbonation, good enough. Nice white head, 2.5 fingers. It was a little bit lively coming out of the bottle. Don't know why that is, because it's not exactly warm in here, and I haven't exactly had it long either. Got it from Morrison's at Scarborough. I don't know, is them. There we go. I was going to have a night off today and not do any reviews, but after doing the flipping garden, I've got a mountain of work, flipping decking. It's been spongy for a while, and we're having a new bathroom put in, and they needed to get, basically I had to take half the decking up for them to get the bloody salt pipe in. Yes, lovely. But the decking's getting old anyway, so I'm going to make the best of what's there. Get rid of all the spongy bits of decking, redo underneath, clean out all the crap that got buried underneath. Make sure there's no rat holes under there, decking. Take out all the rotten beams. There's a few rotten beams. Solidify all the beams by putting more beams in, and basically make it as solid as I can get it. Put the decking back down. Sort it out, re-landscape the rest of the garden, burn the bloody wood that's crap, and hey, we'll get there in the end. Very hoppy, this is, very hoppy. First impressions, I'll be honest, it's tasting a little bit thin. It's coming across as being a bit thin, i.e. 3.4%. There is an abundance of hoppiness, and it's exactly what I was on about with this local brewery to me, where the blending wasn't done, bob on. Too many hops. Oh, now it is cold in the shed, so whether it needs to be warmer for it to taste thicker. It's very punchy, very hoppy, punchy, lots of flavour in there to mask, in my opinion, to mask that blooming lower drop of ABV. I'd rather have it as a 4%er with the punchiness dialed down a bit. The weird thing is that I've had beers at 3% that have been thicker and blended to perfection. The balance of flavour, you know what the ABV is, but the balance was there. It's not a bad beer per se. It's just the fact that it's bloody, really, really punchy and thin. It's quite the taste just there. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. It's the first of the Saltaire beers that I've slightly been not keen on. And it's no prejudice against 3.4% beers. I get the same when it's alcohol-free beers. This dialing up of hops and flavour to mask the pure fact is the ABVs, not as. I mean, it's very flavourful. It's very, very hoppy. But maybe a little bit too much. Maybe needs just dialing down a bit. In my opinion, for whatever that opinion is. I'd be interested to see if anybody else has had this and their thoughts, or goes out and buys it and again delivers their thoughts. Bearing in mind this is at a cold temperature. It is cold in this shed. It's probably about 7 degrees at most, so not really keg temperature, but not exactly bloody warm either. It's thickened up a bit now. It feels a bit more thicker. So whether the air getting to it has helped it. Oh. It's difficult. It's difficult to think about it. Like I say, 3.4%. This new ABV. I know why they do it. I just can't be done with it. I've had it in fantastic pubs near me on keg, 3.4%er. I think it was actually 3%, and the price was like £6.40 a pint, and it's like fucking hell. And I thought, no, I'm not even going to touch that. I mean, it's a good brewery as well who had it, but at that price for something of that ABV, you're like, no chance. Sod off. Well. I mean, it is really flavourful. If you buy this and it's initially too strong for you, give it 20 minutes. Let it sit there. Let it calm down. Go back to it. It'll be much more better on the palate. But if you like it really, really strong, punchy, hoppy, then yeah, get in there straight away. Get it a bit cooler. Get in there and enjoy it. Like I say, it was very thin at first. The first few gulps, and it's like, oh, you can really taste that bloody ABV drop. If it was even high before, it's just the fact that it's 3.4%, which is really weird. Because I've had milds that were 3%, Green King of all bloody companies. They're mild. And it was amazing at 3%. And it's like, you're like there and you're like, not expecting anything. And you drink it and you're like, where the bloody hell did this come from? And it was stunning. So, it is what it is. I do think the 3.4% thing needs to be worked on more. I as somebody who's seen this coming in, has been drinking these beers, and no nastiness towards Saltaire, all my opinion, but I feel across the board that they've dropped the ABV, bumped everything else up, without actually doing some small batch brews to taste it and think, oh, yeah, it's not great, is it? Maybe we should dial something down and dial something up and get that bloody balance. And there are breweries out there who have delivered balance. Alter Ego with their Build a Beard. It's 3%, but balanced to perfection. Perfection. That could be a 4.5%. You wouldn't know. I know that's 3.4. I can taste it, Got better as I got into it. But that initial burst, and for some people out there, in beer review land, that initial few sips is what they chuck it away because they're trying to, make a point. I'd rather digest and go through and give at least my opinion for whatever that opinion is, Who cares anyway, I suppose, really, in the grand scheme of things, just some bloke sat in his fucking shed drinking beer. But, if we're being absolutely brutally bloody honest, it was probably on a lot less money than people making the beer. But there you go. And zero appreciation for your work, yeah. And more like your reviews as well, but there you go. I've got to lower my blood pressure. So I'm not going. And this is from yesterday, getting a high blood pressure count. And it's like, who's that? But anyway, yeah, so you've heard what I thought. I'm not going to go over it again. Don't need to. If you watched the review, you'll have heard and you'll have seen the story develop. To Saltaire Brewery, not being a knob, but you could see where it came from, and at the end it turned out really nice. So would I drink it again? Sadly, no, it's not a beer I'd touch again. But that's not being an arse again. At 5, and again, if it was for the first 2 minutes, it would be a 3.6. Yeah, because it was thin. It was too much. Once you let the air get to it, let it breathe a bit, let it develop, then it jumps up to a 4.0. So you can see the transition. Thank you for watching. See you soon.